Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. Bob and Phil here as always. The market is starting to falter a little bit. The underlying technicals that have been giving this market its tailwinds have gone away post OPEC. So we wanted to give you guys a look at where the market is in as far as our indicators go. And you guys are going to be really interested to see what's fired off here on the S&P 500. And we're also going to dive into a select stock that Bob has picked out for you guys. So let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
Hey guys, I want to tell you something that we do that really will change the way in which you look at trading and also absolutely help you increase your profitability and how much money you make. It's the Trade Genius newsletter. We put the newsletter out Sunday night through Thursday night, and this really looks at the plumbing of the markets and helps prepare you for the next trading day and help you make money. And we give you a lot of information. We give you market statistics, we give you market levels, we give you the seasonality, what's happening with different sectors of the market, and we will help you identify whether the market's in a bear mode or a bull mode, or whether it's euphoric, whether it's despondent, and it just puts you in a position to be on the right side of the trade. So take advantage of our offer that we have below, and you'll love it. I mean, one trade that you make with this thing can pay for definitely a month, maybe even a year's worth of service. It's that powerful. Use promo code podcast for 15% off the retail price of newsletter. Thanks for listening.
Hey Bob, so interesting point in the markets here. What say you?
Yeah, so we're now Thursday going into what I would consider a long weekend, or I would call it an extended vacation for people. I think a lot of people are probably, today's their last day, and I think people are going to bolt on all through 4th of July and all the way through next weekend. You can see it in the derivative contracts, Phil, that they're starting to dry up. Tomorrow will be a big day for quarter end in terms of action. And then the very next week, it looks like any of the pushing they've been trying to do over the last couple of days, which has been pretty mooted, looks like they're going to reverse for the next week, but action seems limited either way. So I have a chart up here just to show you guys where things are. Now, Phil put up last week, he showed you we're in a risk on situation, but if you can look at that last red bar that was 4 days ago, we also pushed down into a short-term oversold area, and the market's reacting to that. And I think, Phil, next week, maybe we could show those guys the 4-quadrant chart that we use to look at, more tactical support and resistance areas. But we hit that on, it looks like on Friday or Thursday, on Monday, and they've been trying to lift the market into this weekend, which is normal, by the way, but if you notice on the way our color-coded chart is, at least this is the one I use, this is a SPY Daily. If you notice, we're capped here. We have, to see the one with that magenta and blue over top, that's a Fibonacci resistance area that the market's going to have a hard time getting over, number one. Number two, if you go down to the lower pane, that's our heat indicator, that looking at momentum. And if you see that the move that has been sliding higher is running contrary to the heat indicator, which tells us that this is really derivative driven, and it should fall back and trend with heat, Phil. So the other thing is that unless we take out the highs from a week and a half ago, this is a setting up for a potential failed, reclaim, if you will. Right. And then we can look back to maybe start filling that gap down there at the 424 area on SPY. What say you?
Well, that's the first Kona sell too that's fired off in over a month.
Long time.
Yeah. We had risk on in the system, on the liquidity system was risk on in mid-May. And I think that missed a lot of viewers because, they keep seeing the macro warnings, but, short term, we follow those signals, right? Regardless if we think the market's rolling over in the next couple of months, we follow these signals in the meantime. And so we had risk on and everything was basically, go. But for the larger positioning, like I'm, swing trade, I'm short, the market, because I do think that this is going to fail. And this is a typical setup for a lower high as well. But that being said, like you mentioned, we're going into the 4th of July holiday. 9 times out of 10, that's going to levitate into that holiday. My concern is going to be, right after that, though, as the markets come back from that holiday break. And the The days are chopped up. I think Monday's like a quarter day or something like that. Weird, the cash market.
That's right.
And then the holiday. And then so when we come back from that, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be looking very closely at this market, because if it starts to break down and SPY starts to head back down to that 432 level, Bob, I think you're spot on. I think we fill those gaps below. And that's going to be a significant structural change for this market. But I think that first Kona sell that we've seen on the daily in a long time is a big warning sign here.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to move an index like this over. This is over 144 trading days, Phil, for it to move to the top of a channel of a 2.3 standard deviation.
Yeah.
That's a lot of heavy lifting.
Sure is.
And I think it's going to suffer for it. And just so you know, guys, so like I said, we don't care if you see that blue line on the way up. It's, that's the stop if you're in it, and now flipped it, and that's your stop if you're short. So we're comfortable where we are, and we know where our loss is. But in the meantime, if we could flip over, Phil, I just want to show people too. There's, no matter what the market's doing, there's really neat opportunities. And I think we're actually rotating instead of a general sell-off, because even today we're starting to see action in the commodities. BTU's up, CCJ's up,
right.
Natural gas is up. Oil is up, and this one's a shipper, TRMD, and this thing pays a huge dividend. I trade this one all the time, and even though it pays a big dividend, it's kind of agile, and you can make these 4 or 5% moves when it does this. But this is coming off a really long sell-off, Phil. I mean, this thing popped when they started paying dividends, and it's been selling off. You can't see it trail off behind on the left side of the chart, but this has been in like basically a month or a 6-week down move, and all of a sudden we started getting Kona buys on it. And while I was waiting for the heat to confirm, and then we have, if you notice on the bottom circle, is that we had a heat buy, heat sell, heat buy, and a Kona buy and a sniper buy all together. And whenever you get a confluence of buy signals, you need to pay attention to it. And so, and especially heat was coming off of oversold. And so it was a no-brainer trade. As we're talking right now, we're still in the trade, been moving stops and targets up. I don't know, maybe by the time I'm out, we're out. But we moved our stops all the way up to 2350 on this, and 2380 is or 2370 is our target at the moment. So nice 5% trade. We just got into this trade on Tuesday. So 5% on 2 days is great. And the reason I'm telling you this, guys, is that we have really good tools, and you can buy these tools. And so all you need to do is you can ask for the heat, or you can ask for the sniper. We sell those in our store. Just go to tradelikeagenius.com and or call us 1-800-949-1408. These things are inexpensive. You get access to them on an annual kind of renewal basis. Like I said, if you'd have just bought the signal and took this trade, you've already paid for it for the year. So take advantage of these tools that we have. We've done them years and years and years in the making, and we like them, and we use them ourselves. And like I said, these are really good tools. They find the trades, and I think I beat that dead horse. So that's kind of where we are, but I'm kind of liking maybe the potential for rotation here, Phil. I noticed TBT's up today. Somebody asked a comment before. I couldn't find your comment to respond to you. It popped today. My comment to you would have been wait till next week to get into TBT because of the rebalancing. But Janet Yellen must be in the market again today. So the big move on TBT. And so what I would do now at this point, wait till it pulls back, but yeah, I think we're going to get a move higher. I'm looking at TLT to maybe potentially fall 10 or 15%. That means TBT probably has a 10 or 15% move in it, because Janet Yellen is going to suck the oxygen out of all asset classes to fund this government, and that will have an effect on the markets, and it'll definitely have an effect on the bond market. So that's pretty much all I have, Phil.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think the index is going to go back up and see new highs on the S&P 500? Or do you think we're going to take out the swing lows that we put in this week as we head on past the 4th of July? Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.